Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about colors, so that conversation is coming up. So with any car, you need to pick a color, so that begs the question, which is the best color? So as you know, picking a color is already a highly subjective subject, so if you already have your heart set on a specific color, or you really just like a particular color, then go for it and get that color, and this video is probably not for you. But if you aren't set on one color and you're trying to decide, I'm going to logically explain why I think one color is better than the other. As you probably know, the 3 and Y come in 5 colors, which is not really that many, but then again it makes sense because Tesla's trying to streamline their process and try and pump these cars out as fast as they can and be as efficient as possible at the same time. I'm also not going to include price, so if you were to get the red color, it's going to cost you $2,000 more than the free white color. So if pricing is a factor, also keep that in mind. So I think the first thing that most people think of is black, and that's because black is a color that is very hard to keep clean. You wash it, and then literally 5 minutes later, it's full of dust and dirty. Definitely a true statement from someone who's owned a black car in the past, but when you think about it, black is a dark, neutral color, which looks really nice when it's clean, and really ugly when it's dirty. So if you like black, and are willing to keep it clean, then that's the color for you, and go for it. Having a white Model Y, I think it's almost the exact same thing as having a black car, to be honest. Even though a lot of people will say that white is nice because it always kind of looks clean, while that is kind of true with the pollen, say if there's a lot of pollen on the car, you can't really tell. But honestly, for me, I beg to differ and I'm never getting a white car again. But if it rains once, there goes your nice clean car and all the road dirt, all the black kind of dirt from the road will be stuck on the car. And if it rains over and over again, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to keep caking on and make the car look worse and worse. Normally in the wintertime, I don't wash my cars as often because it's always raining and it's just freezing outside. So who wants to freeze their hands off washing the car? And so when it warmed up this spring and I actually had a chance to wash the car, it took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to take with a pressure washer because I was literally blowing layers of dirt off the car, just like you would pressure wash your concrete, backyard or something like that. It took kind of a while to get all that dirt off before I even sponged the car. So point being, yeah, sure, most of the time it can kind of be clean, but not really at the same time, and that's because of the maximum contrast of black on white. In addition, just like your black car, after you wash it for 5 minutes, the car is dirty, and I'm talking about a white car. And this is basically the black dust that you're going to see that's floating in the air. That's just going to stick to the car. And again, because of that maximum contrast, you can see it even 5 minutes after the car has been washed. Even in these B-roll clips, if you look closely enough, you can see the black dust on the car, even though I had just picked up the car from Tesla 2 days before. And white is just simply the most popular color if you look at any studies, so forget standing out if that is important to you. There's a running joke in the Tesla community on which color is free, attached with a picture of like 10 white Teslas. Well, there you go. That's why. But if you're planning to stand out anyways, you're probably wrapping the car, so the color probably doesn't really matter much to you. One other note too is that most of the time bumpers are primered black or a dark color, so if you have a white car and you're starting to get rock chips on the front of your car, you're going to be able to see that maximum contrast again, black on white, when the paint chips off and you're going to have a black primered bumper behind that. So with a darker color car, you're not going to see that as much because the colors are more closely together and it won't be as noticeable. Red is the next color on the list, which I think is just okay and does stand out a little bit more. There is a myth that red cars get more tickets, and this myth comes from the red color standing out more, but it's actually not true. I mean, okay, red isn't a bad color, but I just don't like the fact that you're going to stand out a little bit more in terms of comparing it to, say, black or a dark gray or something like that. From a dust standpoint, red is probably a better color because it's in the middle of the color spectrum, meaning it's not going to stand out as much as black and white where you have that maximum contrast. And that leads me to the best colors, which I think are blue and dark gray. If I'm going to pick one, I'm going to say the dark gray just because I think it looks the cleanest. So like lighter color cars, if it gets dusty with pollen, it's kind of hard to tell that the car is dusty. And if it rains, of course the car is going to get dirty, but it's not going to look as dirty as a black or white because like the blue and the red, the gray is kind of in the middle of the color spectrum, so it kind of helps make it look less dirty than it really is. Blue is also going to be in this medium spectrum, just like red. But here's my opinion coming in. I just like dark gray cars. I just think they look really nice. And we have a dark gray Model 3, so there's that. So that's my opinion on the best color for your Model 3 or Y. I think stay with medium color spectrum cars are going to be your best bet. Which color are you picking for your next car and why? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.